Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bachelor Nation News fans. The Bachelor is on tonight and it's finally hometowns. However, not all is going smoothly. In fact, Rachael Kirkconnell quite literally fell out of the sky for Matt James tonight. Asterisk warning, spoilers about the winner of The Bachelor ahead asterisk. Rachael Kirkconnell falls out of the sky. On tonight's episode of The Bachelor, Rachael and Matt get to go on their hometown date together. Everything seems to be going great as Rachael takes him skydiving. She did this to make sure Matt trusts her. After they jump out of the plane, Rachael has a really rough landing. From the episode, it looks like the person assisting Rachael actually fell on top of her as they both rolled over into the grass at a high speed. Of course, Matt James instantly jumps up to see if she is okay. Once they finally get to talk, he reveals that it's awful to see someone you are falling in love with get hurt. While this was a huge moment for the couple, it seems like interesting timing. First, they are very hyped up on adrenaline. They just jumped out of the sky after all. Then he saw Rachael get pretty badly injured. That had to have been a shock to the system. Of course, they shared a pretty emotional moment while Matt told Rachael that they are just getting started in their relationship. It seems there is a pretty good chance that the couple bonded so hard because they were in a near-death experience together. Matt James and Rachael have already split. Despite this close moment, Matt and Rachael have actually already broken up. Reality Steve says. Rachael is the one who gets the final rose, but it doesn't seem to last long. Spoiler. Not that Matt's statement wasn't pretty clear itself, but I can confirm that Matt and Rachael have broken up. Of course, Reality Steve didn't say why they split, but it could be due to all of the drama that has been going on with Rachael as of late. It's been so intense, Chris Harrison has even left The Bachelor. It will be interesting to see what the couple says on after the final rose. Are you watching The Bachelor tonight? Do you think Matt picks Rachael because of the near-death experience? Let us know in the comments below. Come back to TV shows Ace for more news on all of your favorite Bachelor Nation pick couples. Rachael because of a near-death experience. The secret that could change everything. Chapter 1. The choice that shocked America. When Matt James made his final choice on The Bachelor, millions of viewers were stunned. After weeks of romantic getaways, tearful confessions, and heartbreaks, the former football player turned reality star handed his final rose to Rachael Kirkconnell, a decision that sent shockwaves through Bachelor Nation. The controversy was immediate, with media outlets dissecting every moment, fans divided on whether Matt made the right choice, and skeptics crying foul over the show's editing and racial tension storyline. But what if there was something deeper? What if the reason Matt chose Rachael had less to do with their televised chemistry and more to do with a harrowing, life-altering near-death experience? One that producers allegedly covered up to protect the image of the show. What we discovered might change how you view Matt's final rose forever. Chapter 2. The Hidden Incident in Pennsylvania. Filming for Matt's season took place at the Nemacolin Resort in Pennsylvania, a secluded and lavish location with vast woods, icy lakes, and more secrets than producers bargained for. Sources from the set now claim that during week 6 of filming, a terrifying incident occurred and involved Matt James, a hiking trail, and a drop-off no one saw coming. One crew member, who asked to remain anonymous, revealed. Matt wanted to go for a solo walk to clear his head. It had been an emotional week. We usually keep tabs on the leads, but he gave us the slip. We didn't find him for hours. When we did, it was clear something had happened. The source alleged that Matt fell down a steep incline, was knocked unconscious, and suffered a mild concussion and hypothermia before being found by resort staff. There were no mentions of this incident in any of the aired episodes. It was edited out completely. But those close to the production say this moment changed Matt's entire perspective and set the course for who he would choose in the end. Chapter 3. I saw my life flash before my eyes. A close friend of Matt's, who spoke with him days after the finale wrapped, claimed Matt described the incident as a wake-up call. "He told me, man, I really thought I was going to die out there." He said he was alone in the cold, in the dark, and all he could think about was who he'd want by his side if it all ended, and it wasn't who you'd expect. So who was it? Rachael Kirkconnell. Despite being under fire for past racially insensitive behavior, Rachael had always maintained a strong emotional connection with Matt. But insiders say Matt had been leaning toward choosing someone else, rumored to be Michelle Young, up until that fateful hike. He changed after that, the source continued. He started saying things like life's too short and follow your heart, not your head. Was it a genuine emotional awakening, or a panic-induced shift in perspective? Chapter 4. Michelle was blindsided. Michelle Young, now beloved by fans and a former bachelorette, later admitted she was blindsided when Matt chose Rachael. In interviews following the finale, she said, "I asked him for closure and he said he couldn't give it to me. That told me everything. But what if he couldn't give her closure because he didn't have the words to explain his decision?" If Matt had chosen Rachael not because of compatibility or long-term potential, but because a traumatic brush with death, would that have changed how we all saw his decision? Bachelor producers, according to another anonymous source, were panicked when the incident happened. There was no way they were going to let that get out. Imagine your first black bachelor almost dying during filming. It would have been chaos. Chapter 5. Rachael's reaction wasn't what you think. So how did Rachael react when she found out about the near-death incident? According to friends, she was shaken and deeply moved. Rachael felt this pull to Matt after hearing what happened. A friend of hers shared, "She told me it felt like fate, like they were meant to be together, and that moment just confirmed it." But critics argue that this kind of trauma bonding can create false intimacy. Dr. Carla Hensley, a psychologist who specializes in relationships formed under extreme conditions, explained, "Near-death experiences can cause people to reevaluate their lives, but they can also lead to rushed decisions or misplaced emotions, a kind of survivor's euphoria." Was Matt choosing Rachael a genuine act of love, or an emotional response to nearly losing everything? Chapter 6. The ABC cover-up. Now that more details are emerging, many fans are wondering, why didn't ABC air the incident? One former producer who left the franchise after Matt's season says the network was desperate to avoid controversy. "They were already dealing with the racism scandal," she said. "To add a life-threatening incident on top of that, it would have sunk the season. They edited around it and told everyone to keep quiet." A now-deleted Reddit post by someone claiming to work in post-production revealed, "We cut out 3 days of filming due to a medical situation. It never made it past the first edit." If this is true, it means Bachelor Nation was watching a version of the season that never actually happened. Chapter 7. Matt Speaks in Code. In a 2023 podcast interview, Matt James made a cryptic comment that many fans now believe was a reference to his near-death experience. "There was a moment out there, man, when I realized everything could be gone, and I knew what I had to do. You don't come back from something like that the same." At the time, listeners assumed he was speaking metaphorically. Now, in light of these revelations, it reads more like a confession. Everything could be gone. You don't come back the same. Was he dropping breadcrumbs all along? Chapter 8. Are Matt and Rachael still together because of it? As of 2025, Matt and Rachael are still together, but have faced plenty of ups and downs. They broke up shortly after the season ended, then reconciled, then split again, only to quietly reunite in late 2023. Fans who know about the near-death incident now believe it's the glue holding their relationship together. "It was never about perfection," Rachael reportedly told a friend. "It was about being given a second chance, both of us." But second chances don't always lead to happy endings. In recent months, rumors have swirled that Matt and Rachel are taking time apart and rethinking their future. Could it be that once the trauma faded, so did the romance? Chapter 9. What if he chose Michelle? Michelle Yum has since built a solid reputation and even found love on her own season of The Bachelorette, though that too ended in heartbreak. But fans often wonder, what if Matt had stuck with Michelle? He had better conversations with her, one fan commented. Rachel always felt more physical, less emotional. Insiders say producers were secretly hoping Matt would pick Michelle to wrap the season in a feel-good, controversy-free bow. Instead, a near-death scare led to an unpredictable choice, one that continues to divide fans to this day. Chapter 10. The Final Word. We reached out to Matt and Rachel for comment. Neither responded directly, but a rep close to Matt said, "Matt has been through a lot, and he's grateful to be alive and to have experienced everything, the highs and the lows. It's not a denial." In the end, maybe Matt James' season of The Bachelor wasn't about fantasy suites or fireworks. Maybe it was about survival and the raw, unfiltered emotions that come with facing your own mortality. So did Matt pick Rachel because of love, or because he saw the end and decided she was the last face he wanted to see? Either way, one thing is clear: we were never watching the full story.